Welcome back. The inner workings of the alleged Penn State cocaine ring are beginning to come into focus as Pennsylvania's Attorney General releases new details about that operation. Let's take a look. Here are the ringleaders, Agostino Abatiello and Thomas Robinson, both graduates. And here are the charges they've got. Charged with felony corrupt organizations. That, by the way, is the equivalent of a federal RICO statute that mafia and mob bosses are charged with. Conspiracy in dealing in proceeds of unlawful activity. These young men are in a world of trouble. There's 14 total that have been charged, but some of the others we're learning about, Lars, Mohammed, and Robert. Mohammed, by the way, is a current student. We don't know about the others. They were involved in the organization of it. And Paul Robinson, Thomas Robinson's father, has actually been charged for attempting to conceal a safe that may have contained drugs. So how are they doing it? It's a supply chain and it crossed state lines. The two fraternities, Sigma Chi and Delta Upsilon, are the two houses they were doing it out of, but they were going to New York and they were going to Philadelphia to bring in kilos of cocaine. Unbelievable, this story. With that, let's bring in the managing editor of City and State Pennsylvania, Justin Schweitzer. Justin, this is a remarkable story. What have you learned about it?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. You know, it's not uncommon to see the Pennsylvania Attorney General take down various drug trafficking operations in Pennsylvania. We see it all the time. But what's really uncommon is that it involves current and former students. And, you know, this wasn't some small operation with small amounts of cocaine, you know, passed between friends or something like that. This was, as the Attorney General said, a coordinated and highly profitable operation. And as you said, this was kilos of cocaine. The transactions that were included in the criminal complaint point to transactions worth tens of thousands of dollars at a time. This is really a massive revelation, and I'm really curious to see how Pennsylvania officials move forward.
You're so right, Justin. In fact, we know from one of the co-defendants that purchases he made to Agostino Abatiello, we learned in March of 2024, 500 kilos for $18,000. Then in July and September, two more purchases, each for a kilogram apiece for $22,000. You mentioned the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. We had him on the show yesterday. Here's some of what he said.
They were going to Philadelphia, they were going to New York State, and they had sources, and just like any other drug trafficker, they were bringing it to Penn State. You know that one of the fraternities in particular used pledges to help package the cocaine. That's disturbing and repulsive in so many different ways, and so that is what our allegations are, and we expect to prove that in court.
And Justin, what do you make of that last point the Attorney General was talking about? I mean, it's remarkable they were using pledges that, you know, cutting and processing and packaging up cocaine was in some way an initiation right to get into these fraternities.
Right. I mean, Penn State, I think, has an unfortunate history with hazing. There have been deaths on campus, most recently in 2017 with the death of Timothy Piazza after a night of heavy drinking. You know, there's often a connection between drinking, drug use with some of these fraternities, and, you know, hazing is not uncommon, unfortunately. But in this case, it's truly wild to see pledges, you know, students seeking to join these fraternities and fraternity brothers, you know, participating in this activity, cutting, packaging, you know, prepping all of this for distribution. It again, I think, just underscores that this, you know, was a major operation. Like you pointed out, you know, they were securing their product from across state lines. You know, is truly just an interesting development.
And Justin, just the last 20 seconds or so I've got here, are you shocked at the seriousness of these charges? The two ringleaders are facing the equivalent of a federal RICO statute, which you normally see mafia bosses being charged with.
Right. I mean, that's truly incredible. But I mean, given the sophistication of this, given how many people were involved, you know, this appeared to operate more as a business than just some random thing between friends. And so I'm not surprised the Attorney General is pursuing this aggressively, that the grand jury pursued this aggressively, and preliminary hearings come next. And I think that's going to reveal a lot more about, you know, how this all unfolded on Penn State's campus.
And these young men could be facing quite a lot of prison time. We'll continue to follow it. Justin Schweitzer, thank you for taking time.
Thank you.
Meantime, tech giant Meta on trial, accused of deliberately designing Facebook and Instagram to addict children. Jonathan Turley breaks down the legal showdown next.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.